Hello there, my name is Alex, and I'm a DCI vet, and welcome to my series in which I document and report on every drum corps with enough knowledge to document on in alphabetical order. This first video takes us to the US, and more specifically, Alabama. Our subject today is the Charioteers. The Charioteers Drum and Bugle Corps was originally formed as the Alabama Charioteers from Troy, under the leadership of Ralph Beasley, former director of bands at the Charles Henderson High School. They were a self-supported organization. The Charioteers got off to an unusual start on the national scene. They were good enough at the 1971 American Legion prelims that they made the finals cut. The only problem was that the brand new corps didn't learn a full show that year and were consequently pulled out of finals. They placed 8th at prelims. The following season saw the corps travel in its first tour, where they managed to finish 7th at the 1972 US Open Class A finals and 19th in the AL Nationals prelims. They also competed at the very first DCI Championships, placing 22nd, which ranked them among the top 25, becoming a DCI member. In 1973, the Corps participated at several regional contests, including the American International Open, placing 3rd in the Class A finals, a 15th place finish at the preliminaries of the Bluegrass Nationals, and placed 4th in the US Open Class A finals, where of the 85 corps that competed, they placed 1st in visual, only to place 50th in visual GE. They moved to Birmingham in 1974 and were renamed the Charioteers as they continued to travel extensively over the last 3 seasons. In 1974, their touring led to a 36th place finish in the DCI Championship prelims, along with stops in the North Towanda Open Class NTO finals, placing 8th, the Key to C Open Class 24th, and 3 Class A finalist appearances at the AIO, the US Open, and the Key to the Sea. The next year, the Birmingham unit successfully made the finals at 1975 NTO, where they got 7th place in the Open Class, the US Open in 4th place, and a 10th place finish in the AIO prelims before competing their highest achievement ever, placing 2nd at the DCI Class A Championships. In their final season of existence, the Charioteers with a famous Robert W. Smith march placed 19th at the AIO Open Class preliminaries, and were once again a finalist in their Class A division at the US Open, where they ranked 3rd, and the DCI Championships, where they ranked 5th. In a contribution from a member named Michael Terry, he stated, "I first became involved in drum corps in 1971 at the age of 16, when 2 high school friends talked me into accompanying them to a rehearsal of the Alabama Charioteers in Troy. I was fascinated with the precision and complexity displayed by the drumline, and the sheer power of the horns. Needless to say, I was hooked on the spot, enjoying earning a double tenor spot." The 1971 version of the Charioteers was unique, in that it was a startup, first-year corps entirely comprised of members who had absolutely no competitive experience. Not a single member had ever marched in a drum corps before. The season for the Charioteers have consisted of just one competition, the ALN Championship prelims in Houston, Texas, the Astrodome. The staff didn't even consider that we could make finals in the only contest that we would compete in that year, let alone a national championship final, so all the effort was poured into simply making the best first-year showing possible, with the 5.5-minute prelim show. Thank you for watching.